Okay, guys, so I am going to read our first homework assignment from this unit, Extreme Plants. Please follow along with the book or the passage that's on the computer screen while I read. I also suggest going ahead and looking at the questions before I read aloud so that you're familiar with what you're listening for so that you can find those answers a little more quickly in the passage. Okay, here we go. Extreme plants. Plants are important to humans. We eat them, we can make them into medicine, and we can use them to build our homes. They come in many different shapes and sizes. One plant can grow as tall as a skyscraper and as wide as a road, while another will never get larger than a grain of rice. Plants also grow in a variety of habitats. Cacti live in the desert where it's dry. Kapok trees live in the rainforest where it's wet. We know of almost 400,000 different kinds of plants on Earth. Many of them are remarkable. The Amazonian water lily is famous for its huge flat leaves that can grow to be more than 2.5 meters wide. This incredible plant also has a special feature that helps it survive in its environment, the Amazon River. The Amazon River is filled with thousands of different plants and animals. And one of these animals is the manatee. Manatees are big. It can weigh up to almost 400 kilograms. That's about the same weight as a giant grand piano. Manatees are also herbivores, so they don't eat meat, they only eat plants. The big juicy leaves of the Amazonian water lily can make a tasty snack for a manatee. However, the plant's leaves have a remarkable form of protection from hungry animals like manatees. While the Amazonian water lily's leaves are soft on top, their undersides grow sharp thorns. These thorns prevent animals like manatees from eating the lily's leaves, helping this Amazonian water lily survive. The Amazonian water lily isn't the only huge plant. Take a look at the Rafflesia. It has the biggest flower in the world. So in the picture, you can see this giant red flower here. With petals growing to nearly a meter wide. The Rafflesia lives in rainforests of Asia, where it makes its home inside another plant. This is an example of a plant parasite. The Rafflesia lives inside the vine and takes food from it. And then, when its big flower is ready to bloom, it bursts through to the outside. The Rafflesia might be the world's biggest flower, but it doesn't make the world's biggest fruit. Pumpkins hold that record. The largest fruit ever recorded was a pumpkin that weighed more than 1,000 kilograms. That's nearly as much as a small car. Humans have been growing pumpkins for hundreds of years. They have been domesticated, which means that most varieties can't grow in the wild. Instead, they only thrive on farms and in gardens. Humans chose pumpkins with traits they want to have in them. Some pumpkins are tasty and better for eating, while some are better suited for carving Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. Some types are simply grown to get huge and break records. To grow a record-setting giant pumpkin, a gardener has to give it special attention and make sure it gets just the right amount of sun, water, and room to grow. Pumpkins grow on long vines that trail across the ground. When it's time to harvest and weigh the fully grown pumpkin, a gardener might even need to get a forklift to carry it to the scale. All the plants we've mentioned so far have been big, but nothing grows as big as the giant sequoia tree. It is enormous. The trunk of a giant sequoia can have a diameter of more than 6 meters, and it can reach heights of almost 91 meters. That's wider than most city streets and about as tall as a 26-story building. Giant sequoia trees grow in forests in California. These forests are much drier than the Amazon River basin in South America or the rainforests of Asia. Toward the end of summer, when it hasn't rained for a while, These forests can actually catch fire. These wildfires are sometimes caused by lightning striking dry plants. However, a forest fire is no problem for a fully grown giant sequoia. The bark covering the outside of the giant sequoia's trunk is really thick. It doesn't burn easily because it is full of a chemical called tannin, which is pretty fire resistant. The thick bark works like a heat shield, protecting the inside of the tree. In fact, fires can actually help giant sequoias. The plants that live around the giant sequoias don't have the same protection from fire. And when the fires do happen, those plants are burned away. New giant sequoia trees can grow without as much competition for water or light. Not all unusual plants are big. Bamboo is famous for its ability to grow at an incredible speed. Some bamboo stems grow almost a meter per day. That's about the height of a 4-year-old. Bamboo can be found on almost every continent in the world, in both warm and cool climates. It's an important food source for animals like the giant panda. Humans also use bamboo. We eat fresh shoots and can use it as a building material. These are just some of the world's extreme plants, but there are many, many others in the world with amazing stories. Scientists are discovering new plants every year. Each one has special features that can help it survive in its habitat, making it incredible in its own way. Okay, guys, go ahead and look through the questions and watch the short video that follows the questions.